Hi again. This is a fun journal. It's a bit artsy-fartsy. I had a lot of fun with the cover of this one. I'm calling this book Chapter 9, and you can see why. I've made this great little metal embellishment here, and I've cut this out of a page from an old book. You'll also see an old dictionary page. This would have been from the back of the book, the bibliography, an old music sheet here. And this lovely piece is actually when I ripped out the insides of this book, which I do reuse, and that was some of the binding and with the old thread and glue. I just love it. So I added a bit of ribbon here, and you can see at the back another great book page from a grade 7 Canadian book from 1937. And I've tied it up with ribbon here for closure. So let's take a little look. This book is over 100 pages, probably more like 120. And you're going to see lots of journaling spots. This is from an old book, antique book about plates, art plates, just spectacular. So you'll notice some of them are upside down because the book flipped the opposite way than this. It would have flipped up that way. There's some old invoice pages for you to journal on in a little tuck spot here that I've created for you. I'm just going to flip those there. And here's an old school book page. You can see the handwritten notes in here from one of the students. And I love that. I think they're endearing. You'll have fun reading them. And then over here, this isn't old, but I tucked it in because it's a great spot to journal on. It just has a vintage look, so I thought it was kind of fun. And this here is an old greeting card. It's an old birthday card. Look how great this is with the old, that would have been a big deal to have all of this color and metallic paper. And the great thing about this is you can open it up and journal inside, kind of a secret spot here and on the back. So lucky person who gets this. I would say that card is from the 1930s. This is a great image from that plates book. Another great storybook page that was owned by Wayne Sallows. I did get a few books from a garage sale, and this fellow liked to stamp his name in his books everywhere. Great little children's image here. And here we go. He wrote up here, Wayne Sallows, Christmas 1953. So when he was a young boy, Jean Douglas gave him this book. Isn't that fantastic? And there's the inside page, the first page of a bird book, Birds of North America. And I love this book. I scatter these images throughout my journals. And here's some great blank pages. The back side of this is actually a hand-typed story. This one's called Patrick. So it was done on a typewriter, and this would have been the carbon copy. And in here I've made this vintage tag out of an old music sheet and added some great beaded ribbon here. Now look at this. This is so old that you almost can't see it, but it's absolutely beautiful. Two little girls sitting on an old couch. Isn't that great? You might not want to journal on it, but it's just fun to have. It's tucked into a pocket that I made out of an antique book, and I embellished it with fun little detail. This is from an way over 100-year-old bookkeeping ledger page. Please note that it is very delicate, and it's already got a little tear. It may not last the test of time, but it's so beautiful to have. And if it does rip, I just recommend cutting it and slipping it into one of the insert tuck spots. But I wanted you to have it. It's a wonderful historical thing to have in your journals. This is a really old book page that I love. You've got a little damage, but I think that makes it more special. There's just the cover page of an old book. All these little tuck spots here are made from antique book pages. There's a journaling tag for you. And I love this image from this old book that I left in. And lots of spots there. This is from an old book on maps. Isn't that great? This was about at the back, just showing you the Earth and the solar systems. One side is right side up and one is upside down, just because of the way it opened. We have an old children's song page. Over here, an old botanical book page. And this beautiful flower here is made with antique papers. Another great journaling tag here. Old images from an older book. Looks new, but is not. There's that botanical book again. More children's song pages. There's that beautiful map page. This is from the early 1900s. Old book. I love these old images here. Part 2. This is from an old scrapbook, school book page. It's very delicate, as are these here, but so old and just fun for you to journal on. Another children's songbook with a great image here. Look at that. Aren't these great? Actually, this one is from a book. I can see that because of the acknowledgements here. And there's the other side of that old scrapbook page. Another old book page. This one has a poem in it. Little photo here. And look at this tag. I just have to note that, see this binding here? When I pulled out the book, insides, which I do reuse, that was the binding with the original linen. It's delicate, but I just thought it was too beautiful to throw out. So I didn't throw it out. I made it into a tag for you to enjoy. And all of these little embellishments are made out of antique papers, of course. Look at this old sewing pattern instruction. Isn't it great? From children's outfits. That's from an old farmer's book. A little journaling page here, a little bit of color for you. And this is an envelope. You just open that up and you journal right in here, all of these spots mounted on top of an antique. This actually came out of an old history book. Isn't that great? And just some more journaling spots here for you. Takes you right to the end. And the last page is that sewing pattern again with the metric chart. So this is a lovely old book because it's over 80 to 100 pages. I haven't counted all of them. That one is going for $60 first. Come, first, enjoy.